Okay, let's welcome to the show former NYPD detective. He's Dr. Oscar Odom. Doctor, it's great to have you on. Okay, this story, defund the police, that push, it's triggering an exodus of cops across the nation right as violent crime spikes coast to coast. Now, doctor, police departments, we're seeing reports they're taking drastic action to get more cops in the door and that they're lowering potentially their recruiting standards in states like Illinois, Missouri, and Connecticut, lowering educational requirements, maybe forgiving prior, small bore drug use. What do you think of this new trend?
This is what we call insanity. Because, like the movie, I always say from A Few Good Men, you need me on that line, you want me on that line. And here they go, lowering the standards when they're complaining so much about what police are doing, where they have experienced police officers, what majority of the time are doing the right thing, and that 1% or less than 1% when they mess up, then they try to blame everybody about what's taking place. They need to be evidence-based and data-driven and look at the data and see what the police officers are doing. When they lower these standards, they're going to pay. And I like to see the type of advertising that the politicians are going to have to try to recruit someone to take a job where you're going to be second guessed, where you're going to put your life on the line and see what happens next.
Doctor, we are in the middle of an historic crime wave. You and I have talked about this, a 30% spike higher in homicides. Already in the first 6 months, we're seeing 5 cities getting really smacked hard. And it's minority neighborhoods are slammed by rising crime. What's more of a violation of civil rights than an innocent citizen, a black person or African American or Asian or an Hispanic getting killed because of defund police and weak on crime policies?
Once again, that's another term called insanity for them. Like I always say, they need to give up their police security details, walk out there and look at the numbers. As I always say, a dead body is a dead body. It doesn't lie. When you add up the numbers and you see what happens, there's more proof to show you that they need to stop this starter, defund the police movement, and to make sure that they're putting the right resources there. Because at the end of the day, like I said, when you start counting those bodies, you're going to see what's what, and you're going to see that there's going to be a bigger impact on those communities because you're going to have more people dying because of gun violence.
And doctor,
the summer has just started.
And doctor,
wait till it begins.
Wait till it begins. Doctor, this looks like it's a sea change. This might be a hinge point, a turning point. The Minnesota State Supreme Court delivered a big win for a group of Minneapolis residents. They were suing due to an influx of crime into their neighborhoods after the defund the police movement. Doctor, the court is saying, Minneapolis, you violated your city charter. You're not hiring enough cops. You got to bring on more than 730 police officers. So that's a sea change.
Oh, most definitely. And I'm glad somebody is looking in the mirror to see exactly what happens and looking at the data and realize what is taking place with the police. When we look at it and we look at the data, like I said, let's look at the data to see the arrests that police officers have made regarding homicides, robberies, and assaults. And then, like I said, one thing happens or something, and then you try to sweep everybody in law enforcement with that. Just think of the nobility that one must have to receive a call, man with a gun, and then go running in that building, selfless, sacrificing their life, and they may have family themselves, and they go in there without any hesitation to go and see what takes place. Now you're causing cops to hesitate by these different defund the police movements and say, wait and hold up. So why would one rush into something when you may be second guess and lose your life and or lose your career and go to prison?
But we have officer fatalities in the line of duty spiked by more than half from 2021 versus 2020. And, we hear you loud and clear. A police officer, it's really dangerous to do that job. Thousands were injured in the 2020 riots. Let's watch, many of them were killed. Let's watch civil rights attorney Leo Terrell on this. Watch.
The Democrats are soft on crime. They want to claim that there's systemic racism and systemic discrimination. But in those 5 Democratic cities, you have people of color being killed by people of color and by different other groups. And yet the Democrats won't do anything about it. Why? Because that's Black Lives Matter. That's Antifa. And what you have soft on crime prosecutors. People who the Democrats allegedly care about, people of color in these Democratic cities, they don't care about.
Yeah, we're seeing in Philadelphia like 80% of the people murdered there are black people. It's happening in cities across the nation. Why the silence about this, Dr. Odom?
Well, one of the things I would say is that, obviously they don't go according to their model where they say, see something, say something, because like I say, they see something, people say something, and then they do nothing. So that becomes an oxymoron right there. I'm seeing something and I'm saying something, but then you do nothing. Then what happens? The bodies continue to pile up. And I can't put it any more vivid than that, because that's what should shock the conscious and allow you to look at it, besides all of this rhetoric that everybody's talking. Look at the bodies. We need to save the children. We need to save the communities. We need to go according to our Constitution and make sure that everybody's able to walk around, enjoy the freedoms that are protected under the United States Constitution. The first 10 amendments of the United States Constitution is called the Bill of Rights.
Okay.
This is what we embrace. This is what we have to look at. And by allowing people to just go reckless there and defund the police and not allowing police officers to be there, this is what you get.
Dr. Odom, thanks for joining us. It's great to have you on. It's good to see you.